So, hello, everyone. This is the Steel Bones podcast. It's Gary Hawksworth, and I've got with me Neil Brewin from Mind and Muscle. Neil, would you like to tell us a little bit about your background and, what inspired you to start helping amputees?
Yeah, hi. Thanks for having me. My name is Neil Brewin. I'm a mindset and mental performance coach for amputees. And what that means in real terms is I help amputees improve their well-being, their mental health, navigate life, and increase their quality of life. I've helped people improve their well-being and how they think, how they feel, and live a better life for the last 15 years. Previously, I worked with professional and semi-professional athletes in mindset and mental performance. After doing this for a number of years, I started to work with people with health conditions and as well with amputees. And I got such amazing results working with the amputees I started with. That led on to working with more amputees. And over time, this led me to see and believe that amputees didn't have the support they needed or deserved in mindset and rebuilding their lives. And 5 years ago, I moved over to work exclusively with amputees, which I'm still doing and hugely passionate about.
Okay, so what kind of work do you actually do with amputees, Neil? Could you just tell us a little bit about what you do?
Yeah, right. Basically, I work with amputees who are trying to rebuild their lives. Many come to me feeling stuck or overwhelmed, and we work on building a solid foundation with what I call the 5 pillars of well-being, which are essential basics, which are hydration, basic nutrition, sleep, activity, and mindset. Once those are in place, we move on to mindset techniques and strategies that help them manage their emotions and stay motivated and feel in more control of their life. We build a step-by-step plan to reach their goal. Obviously, the last 5 years I've worked exclusively with amputees, listening and learning and understanding what really helps. I've studied and gained qualification. Using my experience of working with so many clients, I've developed a structured system which focuses on daily performance, mindset and well-being.
Okay, so what kind of things do you see that amputees have regarding mental health and coping with things?
I'd say the biggest, which connects to others, is fear. There are others like loss of identity, low self-esteem, depression, but fear is such a powerful emotion. It can take control, it can stop you in your tracks, it can make you feel alone in a crowded room. There are many areas that fear can affect. Fear of the future, fear of falling, fear of how you look to others. It's such a powerful emotion, and then that goes on to affect confidence and self-esteem. So I think the biggest is fear. It's fear of the unknown.
Okay, and do people kind of have these worries straight after the amputation, before the amputation, or can it hit people years later?
Yeah, I think it's different for each person. Some people have time to think about becoming an amputee, and others it's a sudden thing. And obviously people deal with situations very differently. That's where my work with my clients comes into its own, because we have weekly check-ins. My advice and support is based on what they're doing right now, how they're feeling right now, and things they're struggling with right now. It's very personal to themselves. And it's the reason that my clients get such amazing results, because we're dealing with life, their thoughts and feelings as they happen.
Share a story or an example of how this has worked with a person that had a particular issue, just so people understand, Neil.
Yeah, well, I have so many stories of so many clients, and all of them make progress in mindset and move forwards. And I've worked with clients that just can't see a future or don't want to see a future. They don't want to live if their future is what they believe it to be. I've had clients tell me that they didn't want to live when we started working together, and then later on down the line told me that becoming an amputee was the best thing that happened to them because their life was more fulfilled and they had more in it. And I've had clients who pretty much sat in their wheelchair all day staring at the TV when we started working together, and then in less than 14 weeks, they were walking 5,000 steps a day, plus doing many, many other things like kayaking, skydiving. It just opened up their life to possibilities. I've had clients come to me that became an amputee, and then their marriage broke down, they lost their house. And when they came to me, they told me that they'd lost everything and nobody would ever look at them again because they were an amputee. And that client went on to progress as an amputee and walking and functioning in life, plus got a new home, plus found love again. There's so many stories, so many amazing stories. The system I've developed starts right at the start and helps the client take back control. It looks at the 5 pillars, which are the essentials, which pretty much everybody's neglecting some areas, and moves them forward step by step along the way to rebuilding their life.
And do your kind of clients use peer support as well? So do they kind of mix with each other and help?
Yeah, well, I think that's essential. I think that's essential for progress. Like talking to people that are actually living it, you can take away from that. It reduces isolation, and if they see people that are progress in front of them, then it gives them something to aim for, just encourages progress.
Okay, and what advice would you give to someone who was struggling with after an amputation or mental issues? If you just bumped them in the street and they weren't in your area and couldn't join you, is there some advice you could just give anyone over listening to this podcast?
Yeah, I think that the first is just focus one day at a time. I say this a lot, and my clients who are vouched for it I say progress is progress, no matter how small it is. I think that sometimes people can overlook the progress that they're making, and that can hit their self-esteem and their confidence. So I'd say, like, take one day at a time, but remember progress is progress. And the other thing is they don't have to pretend they're okay. Just be honest with the people in your trust. So in your trust circle and the people around you that you can open up to. And if you're not feeling okay, then speak of it. I think a lot of the time when we're not feeling great, we can try and kid ourselves and kid the other people around us.
I guess everyone says they feel fine, don't they, when you...
Yeah, definitely. I've put content out about this very subject, about when you say I'm fine, and actually you know you're not, and the person asking knows you're not. And actually, the steps to move forward from that is, the first is like taking responsibility, actually, that you're not feeling okay, and it's okay to talk about that.
Okay, doesn't that put some people off, though? Because, like, no one wants to hear someone that's moaning that things aren't great.
Yeah, I think the right people are more receptive. Some people can ask you if you're okay, and it's less of a question, more of a statement. And I think finding the right people to talk to enables you to open up and talk to them. And the last one on there is probably, like, it's okay to ask for help. It's okay, like, you don't have to do this alone, and it's okay to ask for help and reach out. That's not a sign of weakness. It's a sign of strength, if anything.
Yes. I know it's something we do quite a bit at Steelbones with our family mentors, and it makes a big difference to people, isn't it, that really feel alone and are struggling?
Yeah, definitely. And like I said, it's easy just to try and keep it locked up, and like that does nothing for your physical health or your mental health by, like, not talking about things and not getting it open and just trying to pretend it's not happening and you don't feel down. Well, if you're feeling low, then you need to talk about it, and that's going to help you move past that stage of feeling low.
How does the physical side link into that then, Neil? What if someone didn't do the exercises and
the great things about physical exercise is that, like, there's so many parts to it. That it's good for your health, physical health. It releases endorphins and serotonin in the brain, which are happy hormones that can pick you up. But, like, I think that, like I said before about the 5 pillars of well-being, activity is a basic essential. And the other 4 are basic essentials and need to be taken into account as well. And people can overlook hydration and eating the right foods. It doesn't mean that you have to be overly look at your food and stuff, but as long as you're reducing processed foods to help with brain function and stuff like that, and rest and sleep. People overlook rest and sleep and not getting good sleep routine. That's going to affect your mental health and how you feel. And definitely activity is one there in the basics.
So, and I guess then if you do more activities, you sleep better, and it becomes, and you're talking to people, it becomes a self-reinforcing loop, isn't it? Because I guess the better you feel, the more you do those things, and the better you feel, kind of thing. Yeah. Just as it can be the opposite way, I guess, isn't it? If you just stuck in your dark place.
That's right. With the 5 pillars of well-being, if you do one, you get the benefits of it, and then they magnify each other. But on the flip side of that is, if you neglect one, you have negative effects. But if you neglect multiple, then they're magnified also.
Right. Okay. Are there things that you think the NHS should be doing more to help people than they are at the moment?
Well, obviously the NHS is overstretched as it is. I think just getting the information out about the basic essentials. I think people underestimate what they're taking care of the basics and much it can improve how you think and feel. And people naturally miss these and neglect them because they're, like, we all know them, and actually it's easy to neglect them and look for something more advanced or something like that. Like I said, with my clients, we start at the 5 pillars of well-being, and a lot of them are shocked how much just taking care of them basics can really improve how they think and feel. So I think it's getting that message out there that actually are they taking care of the basics and how beneficial they can be.
So when we talk about things like hydration, what does that mean in real terms? What does someone need to do as regards hydration, for example? And why does that have such a big impact?
Well, obviously, bodies are like 60% water, so our muscles need water to work. Naturally, if you're dehydrated, it's going to be harder to move around. On top of already having limited mobility, water is around the brain. Dehydration can affect brain function. Like just 2% dehydration can affect brain function.
Oh, wow. Okay. I never knew that, because I'd kind of heard you mention these 5 pillars before, and kind of sleep. Yeah, I can see how that has a big impact. And I was just surprised hydration played such a big role, really. So people should drink plenty now.
Definitely. And obviously, a lot of clients come to me and say that actually have headaches and they're shocked how much clearer their brain is. And just by increasing the water, I've put content out about this on my Facebook page where just start small, and the increase in water that can actually make a difference is kind of tiny on top of what people are already drinking. If they just increase by 500 ml, which is a small bottle of water a day, it can make a big effects and stick with that until you can be consistent with that and then move forwards. I've had lots of clients come back to me and are surprised how much clearer their brains are and thinking, and less headaches by just a small bottle of water increase on top of what you are.
And should this be water, or tea and coffee, or other things?
If you like tea, it could be tea or squash, or just increasing that fluid. It's going to make the benefit.
Okay, brilliant. Thanks, Neil. And what next for you? Where do you see things moving on from where you are at the moment, Neil?
For me, just carry on helping amputees live a better, more fulfilled life. Just keeping making the difference. For me, this job just lights me up. It makes my heart swell. I love it. I'm totally passionate about it. So for me, it's just getting the message of how to help people and how to help them move forwards.
I know so many people at Steel Bones that are volunteers say things like that. It's become a real passion in their life, and it makes such a big difference. I have to admit, when I started as a trustee, I didn't realise how big a difference it would make to my life, really getting so involved in helping amputees.
Yeah, like I said, I worked with athletes before, and I thought that's where I'd stay working forever. And then when I started working with amputees, it just gave me a whole new level of appreciation, and it's where I think that I'll stay, because it's what I think I was put here to do, and to see my clients reach their goals and move forwards. Like I said, it makes my heart swell. I can't even put into words how it makes me feel.
That probably kind of wraps it up. So thank you very much for doing the podcast with us today. It's been very insightful, and it's always interesting to get another view really on how people can live better lives as an amputee.
Thank you for having me on.